You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Blacklist Universe. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller, the frazzled one. Boy, it's one of those days I just can't seem to get everything going. Actually, I can. I've just been okay. So I spent the better part of since I've been home for lunch trying to line up my lineup for Nerds of the Round Table tonight, because I don't just want it to be guys out of the community, guys you've seen every day, all day. Not that I have anything against anybody. I host everybody all week long, but Nerds of the Round Table is a show I want to make special for everyone, and so I go through my Rolodex, as if we have Rolodexes anymore, and I try to contact people that are new and fresh and yet people you may have heard of still. So tonight, let me see if I can find my thing here. I might have to pull this out. Tonight. What do I have on Rolodex tonight for Nerds of the Round Table? Well, I have, of course, my co-host, Louder with Crowder, producer, Quarter Black Garrett, One America Network host. One America Network is a news channel, in case you guys don't have it on your whatever. Host Jack Posobiec, The Collector, writer, director, Marcus Dunstan. He is also the writer on several of the Saw movies. Writer director on actually, where's his IMDb? I forget. Anyways, I've known Marcus for a long time. I haven't talked to him in a while, and he called me back, and so talked to him for a while, and I told him he's like, oh man, I'm working at 5 o'clock, blah 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 blah, and I was like, so we just started shooting the crap about other stuff, and then at one point he's like, well, where's the studio? Because the stuff he was saying about Joker, I'm like, oh, why are you busy at 5? It would be so good to have you on, because we're going to be talking about Joker tonight. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler warning, we're going to be talking Joker. And he's like, well, where's the studio? And I'm like, oh, you just get on your phone or your computer. And he's like, oh, I'll be there. So fantastic lineup tonight. You guys are all familiar with Garrett already. I think you may have seen Jack on Doug TeNaples' channel at one point. So yeah, gonna be a good show tonight. Garrett and I have been chomping at the bit to do a show on the Joker. I saw it again last night. My daughter dragged me kicking and screaming to the movie theater. Just kidding. And yeah, so we did it, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna finally get around to doing it. So hey, everybody, hit that like, hit that share button. I know that show's supposed to start in an hour and a half, and I have an hour show to do right now. So oh, and then yeah, after I got my lineup, I was trying to do the graphic so that I could promote it out, and oh my heavens to Murgatroyd, it was such this Mac. I swear I just want to hit it with a sledgehammer sometimes. It was so bloody slow. Even after I rebooted it, it was just so bloody slow. It was killing me. But all things work for good. I just had to take a moment out in introspection, and realize, it's all good. It's all good. I've got time. I can work on Lone Star after Nerds of the Round Table. So peace be among all of us here. We are once again going through John's Good News. That's not actually the cover. The cover looks like this. Actually, wait, that almost looks like this. Yeah. Well, it's got right. Anyways, we are on chapter 11, week 7, day 26, October 21. October 21. Guess it would be good to plug my headphones in. Well, it depends on if you want to hear. No, and that's no good. That was worthless. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Let's say hello to the people in the Chizat. Dark Admiral, what's up? Jalapeno Milk, Rodwell Stevens, the R2D2, Zach Richmond, Joe Frago, Derek LaFlamme, Rodwell Stevens. Did I say that already? I did. Darn it. Peter Sharon, Xgal, Andrew J, Hikaru, and that's it so far. Hit that like, hit that share. You know the rules. The price of entry. Like and share. Like and share. And also on tonight's Nerds of the Round Table, Mike S. Miller from Game of Thrones and Injustice art from Jason. At any rate. All right, we are live. 6 minutes and 18 seconds. What is up with YouTube? It doesn't update anything these days. Anything at all, seems like. Except for the number of people watching seems to be bouncing back and forth. But can you see who that is? Maybe hang it up. Jalapeno Milk says, so is Green Lantern D&Q a troll after what happened last week? Maybe. We haven't done Green Lantern yet. So Green Lantern was oddly one of my favorite heroes as a kid. The Hal Jordan. Boy, that green and black, the solid black and the green. I actually took that color scheme for Gabrielle de Charlemagne, one of my characters for Immortal 2. So Martian Manhunter, I've never been a big fan of. Yep. Yes, Zach, it's Green Lantern this week. So we'll see. I haven't, and that's another thing. It's being producing shows like Nerds of the Round Table, like Friday Night Auctions, even, and like Drawn and Quartered. It's not just going live. It's not just some random live stream. I have to take the time. I have to schedule people. I have to do, and it's all this other stuff that it just takes time that people don't see behind the scenes. I liked him in the JLA cartoon. Wow, random notification. Yay! DJ Peterson got his random notification. Glad you're in here now. Now, could you please hit that share button and let people out there in the wide world of sports know what's going on here? Jay Hamilton says, I'm looking forward to it. Green Lantern has always been one of my favorites too, along with Green Arrow, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Right on. Yeah, I don't know. As a kid, it was just how he looked. I just loved that green and black color scheme. And the cuts in and I don't know, something about it was just super cool to me. I liked him better than Batman. Oddly. Yeah, I've never been a huge Batman guy. Interestingly enough, because I think maybe because I was more of a Marvel dude. Who is messaging me? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, and so we're already lining people up for Drawn and Quartered. I have to double check. I have a couple of A-list dudes penciled in, but I need to get them marked in marker before I announce them. Actually, I don't even bother. Gosh, maybe I should. If I announce who's coming on early, maybe I could do a graphic like this for Drawn and Quartered. The thing is, that more often than not is a last minute thing of people who are said they're going to show up who actually do show up, because that is a problem, is that so many people are flaky. Artists tend to be flaky people, so trying to schedule artists for things a little harder than getting, say, the host from America One Network, or like last week, Christian Toto, Adam Friended. These guys can can usually schedule things, but artists, for some reason, we're a flaky bunch. And no, it's not the dandruff. Jay says, haha, me too. I caught on to Batman late. I love Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Jean Grey too. My favorites, I mean, I followed John Byrne, and so my favorites were the X-Men and Alpha Flight and Fantastic Four. And then I loved X-Men with Paul Smith on it. I bailed after John Romita Jr. came on. I loved the Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans. More like Adam Unfriended. Am I right? Well, it that does seem a little ironic. I saw a number of my Twitter friends showing how Adam had blocked them. Like, that escalated quickly. But at any rate, what's going on with you all? I had a very, very eventful Sunday. Went to church, obviously. And then, boy, what did we do? I had to make hamburgers. It's so funny. I came home, we made hamburgers late. And then I had to go to my friend's birthday party where they had hamburgers. And so I didn't eat there, but we were there until about 8:30. And then I took my daughter and a couple of his kids to go see Joker again. And then got home, was starving, and had a hamburger. And then we played Age of Empires last night. Oh my gosh, Elijah slaughtered me so fast. I either have to start practicing that game or I don't know. I don't want to quit. I'll just get used to being beaten constantly. That sushi earlier looked so good. It was, man. I was very, very happy with it. P Money says, John Byrne, I loved his Superman, hated his Spider-Man. It's a whole love-hate thing with me. Did you hate the way he drew it or the way he wrote it? Shout out to the tortas. I don't know what that means. I gotta blow my nose. This is driving me nuts. Hold, please. Thank you for holding. Did not like his writing on Spider-Man. Trying to remember. I wasn't much of a Spider-Man fan as a kid. Oh, that's nice. You spent yesterday building Lego with your daughter. That's awesome. Edwin says, I am open to a pact to defeat Elijah. Unlike my real life, my AoE loyalty is negotiable. I'm down for that, Edwin, thou art therefore henceforth Edmund. You are getting Jack on mic. Yeah, getting Jack. No praise for getting Marcus Dunstan on. Writer, director, Marcus Dunstan. Come on, people. Come on. What is up, Muerte? Greetings, Edmund. Oh no, poor P Money. I spent yesterday with my daughter too, cleaning up her throw up. Greetings, Edmund. Stupid autocorrect. Only problem was that she kept trying to eat the bricks. Oh, the Legos. Lovely. Well, we are 14 minutes in. Why don't we jump in a little bit early because I gotta read. Where are we reading today? John 11, 1 through 37. That's a lot of reading. All right, let's go to official King James Bible Online, which I should have had it open already. John chapter 11. And let's go ahead and read the Oh, give me a second here. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right. Let's read the chapter 11 summary. The summary by Ryan Simon. Da, 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 da. Jesus' friend Lazarus falls ill. Meanwhile, Mary and Martha request their close friend Jesus' presence so that Jesus can heal Lazarus. Jesus refuses to go right away. Man, my throat is dry. And instead waits 2 days longer to go see Lazarus, during which time he dies. Jesus arrives in Judea and is immediately greeted by Martha, who is deeply disturbed over Jesus' lack of action and apparently lack of concern over their brother's death. As Jesus goes to the tomb with Mary, Martha, and the other Jews in town, he begins to weep over the people's immense grief, even while knowing Lazarus would be raised from the dead shortly thereafter. Upon approaching the gravesite, Martha again questions Jesus' motives by not wanting to remove the stone due to the odor. Jesus has the stone removed, thanks God, and calls Lazarus out of the tomb, where he stumbles out, still wrapped in burial garments. The scene then shifts to the Pharisees and chief priests plot to kill Lazarus, where some of those Jews saw Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead, told the chief priests about what they saw. These men now recognize the power of the Son of God and are wondering what to do. Caiaphas, the chief priest, then calls for Jesus' arrest so that he may be put to death. Chapter 11 is really showing us the power of misunderstanding the timing of the Lord. Jesus' refusal to rush over was not to be cruel or malicious, but to show everyone in Judea the authority of the Son of Man and the disconnect at times between our timing and God's. Oh, I need a yawn after that. Ugh. Reading. So much reading. All right. Let's give this a refresh real quick. We've got 34 watching, 20 likes. Please hit that like and share button, people who are in here, and let's get more people out. Doug is jumping off Twitter until Bigfoot Bill 2 launches so he isn't dead. People, what are you talking about? I understand the urge to chew on Lego bricks. Oh, brother, my Jojo would dig through all of the Legos to find the heads of the little Lego people and chew the crap out of all the heads. Terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do with that boy. All right. So John 11, 1 through 37. Oh, that's so much reading. 37. I'm 37. I'm not old. All right. I'm going to have to probably keep drinking because my mouth is like super dry for some reason. Now a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany. I used to live in a town called Bethany. Squirrel! The town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with the ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha. Now this is a prophecy right here, that the sickness was not unto death, because he did die, but it wasn't permanent. So I'm sure they didn't see it as a prophecy. They probably saw it as, oh, Jesus was wrong, but he wasn't wrong. It was just a farther sighted way of saying it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard, therefore, that he was sick, he abode 2 days, still in the same place where he was. Then, after that, said he to his disciples, Let us go into Judea again. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking a rest in sleep. Then said Jesus unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples said, Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, Let us all go, that we may die with him. Always doubting Thomas, right? Then when Jesus came, he found, I need more coffee. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And when she had said so, she went her way, and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, The Master is come, and calleth for thee. As soon as she had heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then, which were there in her house, were with her in the house, and comforted her. When they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. So basically, they're having I don't know if it'd be a funeral. Just, people grieving with her. I think they already had, I don't know what kind of funeral rites they had back then. I don't know. It's probably something I should look up. Then when Mary was come where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping which came with her, he groaned in the spirit, and was troubled, and said, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man, which opened the eyes of the blind, have caused that even this man should not have died? I kind of just want to read the whole thing, but this is the devotional for the day. So there's a reason they ended it there. Let's find out what it is. All right. Have you ever asked God for something and he apparently didn't come through? Oftentimes we ask God for things and his answer isn't no, but simply not yet. As we have delved into this story about Lazarus and Jesus, it is easy to look at the end and ask, why didn't Martha, Mary, and the disciples have more faith? Of course, Jesus would raise Lazarus from the dead. We, however, do not have hindsight about our present situations, and can also ask the Lord, why didn't you make this happen when I wanted it to? Jesus says that he is the resurrection and the life. Our situations may look long dead and gone, but there is nothing so dead that God can't make something living out of it. It's interesting. Interesting. They are sitting Shiva, basically awake. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a Jewish custom. Sitting Shiva or Shevist, right? Is it both or just Shiva? The coolest part of that story, Jesus gets the others to move that stone for Lazarus' tomb. Then he did the miracle. Jesus wants to do our part as well as his part. That's the coolest part? I don't know. I never even thought about it. Welcome, King in Yellow. Do we have a new person here? King in Yellow. How's your daughter, King in Yellow? Hello, spiritual. Oh, you're just saying hello to each other. Right. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good news, everyone. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I have a story in mind here, but I'm not sure if it really relates to all of this. P-Money says, yes, I think the coolest part is that God gets us to be involved in his miracles. Yeah. Nick Sedana points out the shortest verse is Jesus wept. It is amazing how God of the universe could relate with us. Yeah, I mean, we are to grieve with those who grieve, right? I mean, have you ever found yourself grieving because someone you don't even know passed away, but someone else was grieving their loss, right? So, I mean, obviously Jesus knew Lazarus and loved him, but sharing that grief with the other people, that was a powerful moment. Logical Gamer says, off-topic question, Mike. I never read Injustice. I played the fighting games. Do you know how accurate the story? Logical Gamer. Okay, off-topic. Injustice is the 5-year prequel story to the game. And then Injustice Ground Zero is the story of the game told from Harley Quinn's perspective. I did very little. I think I did a couple covers on Ground Zero, but that was it. Perkindo. Why are you saying Perkindo? What about Perkindo? Oh, Grieving Perkindo. Yeah. Anyways, let's get to the question here. How can we trust that God who... Oh, I'm sorry. How can we trust that God is who he says he is, even in situations where we feel like he hasn't come through? That's faith. All right? Understanding that we don't know everything, that God works miracles in his own timing, and that we have to have faith and trust that, frankly, he knows better than we do, don't he? And he not only knows, what the timing is to answer our prayers, he knows if we're praying something that is not good for us, he's not going to do that. He's not going to fulfill things that he knows will hurt us, right? So if you're praying for something, even if you think that thing is a good thing and it's going to take you down a dark path somewhere in the future, God knows better than us. So that's faith and trusting that whatever comes to us, whether we feel it's good or ill at the time, God understands. God's got better plans for us than we have for ourselves. That's a promise. His plans for us are far greater than anything we could even imagine. And I'm paraphrasing a scripture that I can't recall to repeat exactly. But 7 says, faith is the substance for things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Amen. We are not made to understand his plan. It's beyond our ability to understand, but not our ability to trust. Very, very well said, Christopher Spirit Flute. Or God will delay because the time is not right. Okay, I'm gonna say that the reason I know Marcus Dunstan is because he and Patrick Melton wanted to adapt Deal with the Devil. And so I went up to Hollywood, had dinner with them and my manager, and we worked things out, but we continued to entertain other offers. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. But I don't want to throw my manager under the bus for anything. I love her. She's trying to do what's right for me. But it so that check out. It landed at a different production company, and it has not been produced since. It's been in development hell, as so many things in Hollywood end up being. Have I always prayed that would get made into a movie? Yeah. Did I ever count on it getting made into a movie? No. But I prayed for it. And will it ever get made into a movie? I don't know. If it was to my detriment, God won't let it, hopefully. Right? God answers no. God answers not yet. Development heck, Mike. No, it's been hell. No, I honestly don't even pay that much attention to it. I get these updates once in a while. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then the producer's like, oh my gosh, you're like the most patient man I've ever dealt with, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, brother, I just don't ever expect this to get made. That's why I'm patient. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds besides God? Nobody. So I don't know why that, just because I was talking to Marcus today, and because this whole thing of, does he answer prayers? Does he say no? Does he put things off? Is his timing the most important thing? Yeah. So we'll see whatever happens. 7 says substance equals hypostasis in Greek. Hypo, under, and stasis, stand, is an ancient Greek term for legal standing, foundation. Legal standing as equivalent to title or deed. The deed of things hoped for? That sounds like it would require some deep diving. Let's ask the other question. Have you ever doubted God's timing? What did you learn from that situation? I don't think I have. I might have. I certainly can't think of anything off the top of my head. So I don't know. You guys, if you have certain examples, have you ever doubted God's timing? Let me think. I mean, maybe when you're in the middle of things, Hold on, I gotta close something. It's being distracting to me. Yeah, maybe when you're just in the thick of things and you're like wishing some sort of a tribulation would end, wishing a check would come in, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I've been through some really bad stuff, and I mean really bad stuff, and still It was faith that everything was for good. That, for those who are the called according to his purpose, in whom I number myself. Then, that's what kind of sustains me through times when I might otherwise have, what is the word? It's I guess hopelessness, right? Because you have hope in God, and that hope is foundational. You have faith in the hope, and the hope in the faith, and it's all trusting that God will make things work for the best, for the good, right? That doesn't mean we all get to be rich. That doesn't mean we all get to have 5 kids. That doesn't mean we all get our dream jobs. Because our dreams aren't his dreams. And if we are in his will, then his dreams ultimately become our dreams. And that is the hope. Don't let your flesh dictate to you how you think God should act in your life, but allow God to act in your life to adjust your dreams and your hopes and your desires to his will rather than the other way around. Christ in you is the hope of glory. Ooh, that's a good way to put it. Look at 7 dropping truth bombs. Which is the deposit? Which is the source of faith? Which is the rock that the wise man built his house upon? That would be Christ. But Mike, where is your faith? You call yourself the Legion of Doom. Where is your faith? I don't call myself the Legion of Doom. And what does one have to do with the other? Even if I did as a lark call myself the Legion of Doom, what has that to do with faith? That is, I'm going to assume you're one of these thumbs downs because you're sort of a negative sort. I know, troll alert. Seriously, that was a pretty weak attack, Louis. Try harder. King in Yellow says, how did you get a lizard that looked exactly like the same Christopher? What are you talking about? Oh, you must be talking about somebody in there. 7 says, to whom God would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Good stuff. Mike is the destroyer of tostadas. I agree. That is truth. All right. Let's get to the daily prayer here. Lord, help me to trust in you, even when I can't see the outcome. I want to trust you, even when my situation seems like it is hopeless. Help me during the remainder of this challenge to believe you despite what I cannot see. Help me during the remainder of this challenge to believe you despite what I cannot see. Above all else, let me believe you are who you say you are. Amen. Boy, and that's just how I started my whole search for truth. My prayer. My first prayer in earnest was, Jesus, if you are who you say you are. And then I challenged him. And then he answered my prayer. If you are a seeker, if you are looking for the truth, pray. You know what? Challenge him. Pray to the one, whoever you are, one true God. If you don't, If you don't, well, I pray to Jesus because that was a challenge set forward to me by a book I was reading. But pray to the one true God. If you are out there and you are who you say you are, reveal yourself to me. Challenge him. If you are truly a seeker, if you don't know, if you're an agnostic, if you're an atheist. And if you are unwilling to challenge God to prove himself to you, if you're scared to say that prayer and mean it, I don't know. What does that say about what you actually believe? All right. And don't be like, if you're real God, strike me dead here. So that kind of stupidity. Because God's going to do what's best for you. All right. And casting you to hell for rejecting him is not going to be what's best for you. All right. What is going on elsewise in the world? We have 18 minutes remaining. Let's see how you guys are doing. Hikaru, are you willing to pray that prayer? Without prayer, I doubt I would have found my way past few months. I understand. I understand. So let's go back. I kind of want to read through this a little slower, except it's so much to read. Therefore, sisters, I'm saying, Lord, behold, he who thou lovest is sick. Thy sickness is not unto death, but the glory of God. See, that's his position. He let his friend who he loved die for the glory of God. So if Jesus will let his own friend who he loved die, knowing that it was ultimately for the glory of God, then who are we to question when certain other people in our family, our loved ones, our friends die? You know, everyone dies. You can't put it off forever. It's particularly hard when young people die, but but everybody crosses that bridge at some point. Sophie had a rough time, felt myself slipping. Carcosa is my heaven. I don't know what Carcosa is. Oh, I feel like I need some direction here. Let's read the scriptures. Let us go to Judea again. You know, the Bible, this part where Thomas says, let's go that we may die with him. I never realized reading through that how sarcastic Thomas was, right? Oh, let us all go so that we may die with him. Because, you know, they were trying to kill Jesus in Jerusalem. Is it in Jerusalem? Yeah, Judea, Jerusalem. But it was this audio Bible version of this scripture that played that for me. The actor on there is so great, and that's what really made it pop for me when I listened to him. It was like, oh my gosh, he's being so sarcastic. It was great. All right. 7 says, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. You know, before I had kids, my prayer for the salvation of my brothers and my father and my mom, also known as my parents, I would pray that do what you have to, even unto my own death, to bring them to you, to let them know who you are, even if it took my own death. I don't pray that anymore because I have kids. And I don't know if that's changed, if that's me being selfish or something, but I need to be here for my kids. Or I feel like I need to be here for my kids, right? And so I don't pray that in regard to other people. It's like, I don't know. It's just interesting you bring that up. Some odd fellows in the chat today. What's going on in the chat that I'm missing? Yeah, I love that Bible app, Mike. Yeah, me too. It's called the YouVersion app. For those who don't know, there are a bunch of versions of the Bible on it. It looks like this. That one. If you want to grab that on whatever, it's got a bunch of versions on it, and it's got fantastic audio versions of multiple versions. I don't think it's got audio of every version. I'm not really sure. But the King James Version is just fantastic. Nick Sonata says, also, the blindness of the leaders of the Israelites toward the godhood of Jesus. That here is the chosen one of God, and yet they did not believe. Yeah, I mean, it puts, we get into that in the second half of chapter 11, after the resurrection. That'll be an interesting conversation tomorrow. But that's kind of been the theme all the way through John, is how the Pharisees knew. The scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the dude you sees and the what you sees, they all knew, because they saw all the fulfillment of Messiah coming to place. They knew that it was Messiah's time because the scepter had departed from Israel. They knew because there was an appointed date when Messiah would enter into Jerusalem meek, riding on the colt, the foal of an ass. They knew all this stuff. They knew the scriptures, but they weren't concerned about truth and prophet. Maybe they just didn't really believe. Maybe they were going through the motions. It had been 400 years since the last prophet spoke to Israel. That's, almost twice the age of our country. That's ancient history to them. It's been 400 years since God spoke to Israel through the prophets, right? And so I guess there were people who were like, hey, it's just, we were born Jewish. We were born into these, beliefs and faiths and whatever. They're our constitution. They are our law. But was there ever any real faith there, even for the most educated? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like academia today. They were just educated beyond their intelligence or something. They were educated beyond their faith. Because clearly, man, that shirt is too small for you, Isaac. Crew's always in our hearts. That's about my nephew. Nick says it could also be a matter of pride that the leaders didn't want to submit to God and were happy with their traditions. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there were still a handful, Nicodemus, for one, right? Joseph of Arimathea, he was also a Pharisee. There were a handful who they understood all of the prophecies. They knew all the stuff everybody else knew, but apparently they weren't enough of the leadership. It seems like they were a minority in that group of leaders. And so there it is. DJ Peter says, I've been partially distracted. What? 2 out of hundreds. Well, it's just 2 that I can name. I honestly think that a lot of I don't know. It's very strange to me to see how modern Judaism lines up so much with the Sadducees, but historically, modern Judaism, I've been told, descends from the Pharisaical line of theology. But I've only been told it. I haven't researched it for myself. Eden curled her hair today.
Mommy said it looked like Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald. Don't trip, Eden. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Yep. Oh, can you turn the AC on?
Yeah.
It turned off and it's hot now. Good job, Eden, says Andrew J.
Thanks.
All right. So
Appreciate the kindness, everyone.
anyways, I might wrap this one up early today. 7 says, no man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. John 6:44. We can ask Eden how the sushi was after. I think I do want to wrap this up a little bit early, though. I'm parched. I don't know why. My throat is so dry. It doesn't seem to matter how much I drink. I got to get some stuff done. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Sorry, we're going to wrap this up a few minutes early. Come on back by later for Nerds of the Round Table. Between then and now, I got stuff to deal with. So God bless you all. Go back Lone Star at lonestarcomic.com. Heart of the Hero, second printing, and Soul of the Soldier, first printing, and Monster Hunt in the as you head on out the door. Anyways, thanks everybody. I'm gonna get some more coffee. God bless.